Hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon, and this week we have a Sagittarius new moon. I was reflecting on what I wanted to come up and present for our Sagittarius new moon, and I really get why in Scandinavian tradition, which most of our calendar was taken from them, that we practice now, but we're in the first stages of the new year, according to the Norse calendar, and that actually makes perfect sense when you think about it, because of the transformative nature that Scorpio season has for us, especially those of us who have been actively participating in our own growth, shadow work, lives. We really did go through some transformations. We experienced some deaths, and shit got real. Things went down, and we saw a lot of new faces attached to old faces, true faces. Some of them were kind of ugly. Some of them were not attractive, but they came out regardless from their transformation. Some of us rose as beasts. Some of us rose as better people. And how we acted and practiced during the explosiveness of the transformation, of the harsh switch up from frozen, solid, fixated Scorpio water energy into that fiery Sagittarius, it really activated something in all of us, and we started participating as new characters, as new people, after going through our chrysalis phase of Scorpio season. So it's all really very interesting. I feel like a lot of us got some new insights on how to better use our tools. Some of them utilize them as weapons. You know, you can do that. Some people didn't really learn anything at all. They weren't doing much. And you can do that too. But it's been interesting, and I think it's going to be an interesting set of reads. So let's get into it. Aries. You're not the man or the woman you were when you started this journey, are you? For better or for worse, I think some deep transformations happened in Scorpio season. Now that we're shining this Sagittarius light, burning out like a fever, that old sickness, I think there is some physical reactions that might be happening. Cult illness. This stack, though. I know, right? I know, right? 5 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords. I feel like we painted ourselves into a corner here. Something unchecked with this tax man and the distribution of thoughts and attentions. Everything is being turned in and focused into this one thing, and nobody else feels like they have anything left. And that's how we painted ourselves into this corner. And now that we've put all of our swords into one place, here we sit, bound beneath them, unable to act as any other character, because this is the picture that we painted. We put all of our swords into this one cart. We put all of our eggs into this one basket. And now this is what we've got. And we're trapped by it. But rest assured, there is a turn. I don't know, we're doing a thing this Sagittarius season, and I feel like what's going to end up happening somehow, some way, is we're going to end up having to double up all of these reads, which I don't have the time and energy for, I'll be honest, but I'm getting a lot of higher and lower octave. My audience is dividing. We're all dividing. We are all splitting off into separate groups and factions of higher and lower octave, depending on what came out of Scorpio season. Did you come out a monster, or did you come out a man or a woman, right? Because we also have the Fool, the King of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. And I don't feel related. I don't feel familial relation between these two energies. The only way I could correlate, unify, or unite these two is if this person who has painted themselves into this corner can now sit and reflect internally. You can't move or do anything outside of you until you work inside to remove these swords, to start turning them in other directions. They are all on gears. They can be turned away. We can free ourselves from this trap, this corner, this situation that we have put ourselves into, but the only way to go through, or the only way out, is through, and you can't go outwards. You can only go inwards and cause the outside world to reflect what is happening on your internal, which is why calling in that King of Pentacles energy brings us into the new journey and moves us into something completely different, a whole new space. This is wide open. There are no swords. It looks kind of like dark and a little war zone-y a little bit out in that city. You can see the smog and the smoke, but we're not in it. We're completely free. Even if we're only free on the inside. And we are free because of the masculine rules, boundaries, and regulations that we have established for ourselves. This is a lot of earth energy coming up into this to give us that grounding during this sword season. But what turns and comes out of this release, this acceptance, the freedom found in restriction, is so much. The Sun, the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, like just love, water, sunshine, happiness, and joy on the other side. Finding those things within yourself when you can't get them from the outside because you've put too many swords in dangerous positions. Now you have to reposition them from the inside. Use those internal mirrors to turn and shine light in different areas. And as you work through that and bring yourself closer into the dawn with your disciplines, rituals, and practices, backing up your internal work, it's what opens everything up so that it can flow freely out of you. It literally feels like a release of a dam, just pushing out clean, clear water. I'm looking for there. I can't even. Once we turn this corner and see this light, this reflection in this particular way, once we view this, That nine of wands in there. Page of wands, page of pentacles, and there's a page of swords as well. These are just wild times. This is wild times. But we've got all of this initiation, all of these other things are, all of these other characters are coming to drink from this clean water. The nine's giving me kind of a submerged sort of feeling. No, there's something lurking in there. There is. There's a lot of people that are after this. There's a lot of people that are after this, but I think if we use our practice correctly, turning our swords and being completely alert and aware to all of the different wills, needs, and desires pulling at this, like, I feel like navigation isn't a problem. Though it could be. I'm not saying it's not going to get dicey. It's not going to get weird. If you are going through such a big and transformative process and all of a sudden you are just emitting all of this clean water, all of this love, all of this light, and being that shining star, like, it's going to attract a lot of people, and they're going to have a lot of different intentions with what they want to do with what they see and how they want to get it, take it, utilize it for themselves. And it's not that this water isn't made to share. It's not that there isn't fountains abound to spread and disperse all of this water to thoroughly water the entire garden. It might even be helping hands. They might even be outside energies kind of giving us those little bits and pieces and clues to help us along that journey. Either way, regardless, it doesn't this is our result. This is our end piece. This is our end meet. This is where we find ourselves sitting in victory under that arch of the Ten of Cups. The and the arch, the arc, the character arc of development here. It's just, we're not under the water, we're not over the water, we are just blessed to come to the world's end pool. It's the best I got. It's the best description. There's true connection here. Be it with yourself or with others. The connection and the things that can manifest in your external when you do these kinds of things with your internal. There's no room. It's a recipe. There's no room for doubt, for failure. Like, yeah, you could probably put in the wrong ingredients or the wrong measurements and, like, get something else. But if you follow the recipe, there is no other result. Take it from a Virgo. We wrote it down this way for a reason. This is the path. This is the journey. We very often find ourselves tied up and tangled in, in putting our thoughts and energies into one particular place and not dispersing them properly. Painting ourselves into corners that we don't want to be in is a common human practice. You're not alone. You're not a freak. You're not a weirdo. You're not the only person experiencing this. You weren't the first, you ain't gonna be the last. Right? But what we do in those times, when we find ourselves there, that is what creates the character. And that is what defines us as people, is how we act in those moments when we find ourselves in those situations. So, do that internal work. Start moving, shifting, and dispersing your energies. Give yourself the best guidance that you can, and always try to operate under that. How would a king behave in this situation? How can I embody that more? How can I bring that more into my daily practice and my physical surroundings? And how can that amount and build and grow into a kingdom? And once you have grown that kingdom, it will be filled with all of the love and all of the light, a sacred space, a place for you to rest, find comfort, be happy. And if you have King of Pentacles did this enough, you will sustain and you will maintain. Because once you achieve it, after everything that you have been through, if you have learned your lessons, you know better how to hold on to it and how to utilize it and maintain it. Don't spend it all in one place. Let it grow like a garden. With proper water, proper care and attention. And good luck on your new journey, Aries. You're doing fantastic, even if it looks crazy. Have a great new moon. We'll see you next time.